the creation scene, or the montage of the creation of the universe, and the asteroid impact that destroyed the dinosaurs, and the microbial life being formed, being created, evolution of life on Earth, and I want to tie that with the Book of Job and my conception of what I think the Book of Job means in relation to that particular thing, and then maybe you can talk.
Sounds
about it
really
as well.
interesting. Yeah.
So, the line from Job is, "Where were you? Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth?" Something like that. Essentially, after all of Job's friends told him that, Job, you must, God took away all your stuff. You must be a
guy's
bad
not working
guy.
out too well for
It's
you.
you, Job. You're a rat.
Oh, yeah.
You must be a rat. Job refused to submit. So Job transcended all of his friends. Job refused to say, no, I didn't do anything that would have warranted this. This is happening to me. I admit it, but I refuse to say that it's happening to me because of something I did, for sin or whatever. So in that sense, you create this character of Job as this not perfect person, but pretty good as humans go, as someone who knows who he is, knows when he's righteous and when he's not righteous, and in this case, he's more righteous than what they suggest that he is. Then the whirlwind comes down, and God says to Job, basically, there's nothing you can say to me, because I'm the creator of the universe. You're just a tiny little human, and even if you're the most righteous among humans, you have no right to even question why I might have done this, or what might have happened to you. All right, now here's some sheep and another wife. But, it sets up Job as the kind of pinnacle of humanity in terms of righteousness, and then says, now that's very, very small compared to this omniscient being who you can't comprehend and never will comprehend. So I take the montage of the creation of the universe, the evolution of life, and all of those, that grand montage of the asteroid impact and the all of that, as a way to sort of frame the movie as all of the things that we're seeing here, which seems so meaningful to these people. All of these events that we're seeing, the death of the brother or the son, the midlife crisis, the father who's sometimes abusive, or at least a little bit maybe too strict sometimes. All of that stuff is being played out on a stage that's about that big in the scale of everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so that's kind of what it sets up, because that's why it's first. They do that first to say, okay, now let's look at this. Let's zoom way in.
Oh, I completely agree.
Microscope.
Yeah, so which is just the macrocosmic and microcosmic connections in
Right.
the universe, that they're all going by the same rules.
Then she says, if you don't love, then your life will flash by. To say, basically, we're in our lives, if we hope to have some sort of grand meaning on this scale of the universe as a whole, time, the immensity of time, the immensity of the universe, if we hope to have any sort of grand meaning in that sense, forget about it. The meaning that
Right.
we have is the meaning that we find in life, which is to find purpose and to live a genuine life, to find the balance between nature and grace, and maybe to love, and that's what you get at the end, and that's all that you need. You just have to accept that you are meaningless. You have to accept that in the relation to all of this, you're less than Job, and
Yeah.
the stage that you live on is this big in comparison to the billions of years of the history of the universe and the size of the universe. And that sort
Right.
of, so it's sort of just like Job sets up this image of God as this incomprehensible being, then it sets up the universe as this incomprehensible object. So then meaning is found in not the minutia, but the day-to-day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not minutia because it's a microcosm of the macrocosm. It does have importance too, even if it is microscopic,
Right.
because it reflects the nature of the universe in some way. I mean, it's all part of the same thing, even if it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess the
Doesn't
mattering of it is, you can't really argue about that, but
Well, it's
yeah,
insignificant.
but for
at
you,
least
for
in
your
some way.
life, yeah, I mean, the whole point is that one thing. If unless you love, your life will flash by or something. And I think near there's that shot of like the desert, and you just like a puff of dust. It goes like,
Right. But that's what it is. Life
yeah,
is a puff of dust. But
yeah.
it's just a boop. That's all you are. I mean, if you were looking at the whole universe on fast forward, you and I would
Well,
just
that's
go boop. It would
right,
just be
but that's
that.
only if the universe is important, right? I mean, for
Right.
all we know, like the most important aspect of the universe is the stuff that is
Well,
this YouTube conversation.
at least it is to us, and that's what I think
Right.
the film is trying to say is, you find your meaning in living in a genuine way in the context that you find yourself in, and if you stray away from that, then you're going to miss the show. And Brad Pitt, the father, says, I missed all of
Missed the
this.
big-
I
right.
missed whatever he says. I missed the beauty of the things around me, because he was living in the way of pure nature. He was living in the way of being successful and wanting to achieve.
Right.
And because he did that, he's still insignificant, but he's not only insignificant, he's insignificant and he doesn't even know what meaning can be found in the insignificance. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
I agree. I completely agree. Except that I don't know for sure if it's saying it's insignificant, but I guess yeah, scale wise, like you're not going to affect the universe. I guess whether or not it's significant is kind of relative.
It depends on if
But-
we're living in a simulation or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole point is exactly that, though. I mean, you need to find the meaning in your life, and I think it does err on the side of just be more loving, go with grace more often. It's probably the better way. Though you do have to balance, I mean, being where we're at, but you can't just be passive and full of grace everywhere. You wouldn't. I mean,
No, I think that's all. I think that it's easy.
it does say
to,
there should be balance, I think.
I think it's easy to see her as a pure good, whereas she might be a pure good. She's also dependent. She's also
Could have stuck up for herself a little, not let him-
naive.
Yeah.
She's also submissive, and so finding in a Petersonian sense, finding a walking in the middle is
Women are evil.
where meaning is found. You have to be a young man in order to have meaning.
And purpose. And goodness.
It's unbelievable.